All right, we're at part 4 of little things to learn in Fusion 360. So last time we kind of cut this wedge in half to kind of make this profile. And then we inserted a motor mount on holes using the point-to-point feature. Now we're going to insert a motor and a hub and a wheel. All right. So now we just gotta, you're going to go to your data panel here to open up the parts. You're going to go to a folder called robot parts. Again, pin it. Double click, open it. Oh, that's the bell. All right, now we are going to look for 22 millimeter motor. All right, here it is. It says BotKits drive motor 22 millimeters because that's the diameter of the motor mount circle. Okay. Again, we're going to right click on the thing that we want to insert into current design. All right, we'll close this data panel. All right, so now we got to do a point to point again. So it's already facing the correct direction, which is great. So it's already facing the correct direction. And now I basically want to see the front of this motor. Okay. I'm going to hit point to point over here. I'm going to zoom into this face right here, this little oval shaped face. Not this face, but this face. Okay, I'm going to hold down control again so my mouse doesn't change. I'm going to click this point. That's the first point here. That's the origin point. And now I want to move it to a target. And where do I want to put it is this hole right here on this. I want to line up this face with this hole, okay? So I'm hovering my mouse over here. I'm going to hold down control. I'm going to go right in the center. Don't click that. It's this one right here, the little crosshair. And now my motor's there. See how this face lines up with this face of the motor mount? Awesome. And now it's still not over enough, okay? Because you want this to clamp down a little bit on the motor. So I'm going to click on free move, slide this over a little bit using the arrows so it stays on this plane, just like that. Let me see. All right, that looks good. So I moved it over minus 6 millimeters. I moved it 6 millimeters to the left. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm all done inserting that motor. Now I want to insert a hub. A hub is something that the wheel sits on. So this little bar spins. Then you got to put something on this bar. And then you got to put a wheel on that. All right. So open another part or find another part. We are looking for a form hub, something called a hub. Right here, BaneBot's 4 millimeter hub. Right click on it, insert into current design. Here it is. We'll close this tab right here. Now, if I lift this up again to get a better view of it, it's facing backwards. I want this flange. The flange is the round part that kind of hangs off that's bigger. I want that flange up against the face that we clicked on before. Okay, so first thing I got to do is I got to turn this around. So I'm going to click on top so I get a good view. Now look at it turning. I'm going to turn it 180 degrees. You know that number. If you played any Tony Hawk or something like that. 180 degrees. And now I'm going to do a point to point because I got it facing the direction I want. I'm going to click on point to point over here. All right. I'm going to be on this face. So hold down control. Click on that center point in that face. Then I want to be able to see this motor. And right on this face, I'm going to hold down control while my mouse is over it and then click on this crosshair. Boom. Now my hub is where it needs to be. Okay, hit OK, and I'm done. Now I'm going to add a wheel. This is the one we want, BaneBot 2 3/8 of an inch. All right, it's a green wheel, kind of can't miss it. And the difference is, all right, BaneBot's 2 3/8. All right, so again, I'm going to right click on it, insert into current design. Again, it's not in the orientation we need it. So what I got to do is I got to stand it up using this arrow. So I'm going to turn this 90 degrees. Looking at that number right there change. Now it's perfectly straight. And then I'm gonna line up this face with the motor mount. Okay, so I'm gonna do point to point again. See, I'm not clicking on this face. I want this face right here. Okay, but first let me close this data panel. I'll click on the mouse wheel to kind of move it. Hover my mouse over this face. I'm gonna click in the center because that's what we're lining up. Again, I gotta get a view of this. All right, so where do we want to put this on the motor? I'm sorry, on the wheel hub. So look closely. It's this right here. All right, because this is where the wheel is going to stop. You're going to slide it on. It's going to stop right here. So I kind of want to line it up with this. So I'm going to hold down Control. I'm going to click on this center right here. And boom, I got my wheel where I want it to go. All right. Now, here's the thing. I kind of noticed that it didn't look exactly right. You could kind of see these lines kind of intersecting, which is not what we want. So I'm going to hit OK to kind of be done. Now to get rid of this whole body, I got to click on these are the bodies. I'm going to click on this eye. All right. Click on this arrow, and this is body one. I'm actually going to rename it, and I think we should have already did this, but I'm going to do it again. Chassis. Oops, I can't spell. CHASSIS. All right. That means the body. Now if I click on the eye next to the body, that means it's no longer visible. Okay. If I click on it so it's there. All right. And you'll have a list of bodies later. But right now, we just have one body, so that comes and goes. All right, so we want to get rid of it for a second. And then I'm going to hit, what's that, left, so I can look at this kind of straight on. Actually, I'm going to drag just a little bit so I could see. I want to rotate this wheel so it kind of lines up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the tire, click on Move and Copy, and then this pops up again. But now we're going to rotate. We haven't used this before, but you see this over here? It's called rotate. And now it's saying, hey, what axis, what circle do I want to move on? And you just got to pick any circle that like is within the wheel. So I could click this circle line, this circle line. They're all the same. Okay. So I'm just going to click on this right here. And you'll notice I'm going to drag this wheel. And now the wheel is going to turn. Let's see. That looks good. Kind of lines up. I'm going to hit OK. See how that looks? All right. It's almost okay. For our purposes, that's good enough. Okie dokie. And now I'm going to hit the chassis eyeball again.
Good afternoon, Schenectady High School. We are now on a hall check. Students.
All right. So you'll notice that I need a wheel now. I'm sorry. I need a hole in the bottom of this. So if I click on the eyeball next to the wheel, see there's kind of like nowhere for the wheel to go. It just kind of pops up through there. So what I need to do is, with the wheel showing as best as I can, I'm going to create a sketch on this bottom face right here and make a rectangle that's kind of a little bit wider than this wheel and a little bit longer, so it kind of goes through. So I'm going to create sketch, click on the face of this. This might pop up. If you haven't saved it, always click capture position. All right. And now it wants me to draw a sketch on this face, and I'm going to draw a center rectangle. So create center rectangle. And I'm going to try to click somewhere in the middle of this wheel as best as I can. Sometimes it locks. All right. You see over here where it says snap? If I kind of get rid of that, it won't snap anywhere. All right. I'll click right here what I think is the middle. I'm going to kind of go down. I want to be past the wheel, a little bit wider than the wheel. So that looks good. Let's make these specific numbers. So I'm going to make this 13. Oh, let's change that to 14. I'll make the other one 45. Actually, let's make it 48. 14 by 48. Hit enter. And now I got this section here. I'm going to hit finish sketch.